This sucks. Change it.
You're the first girl I've talked to since 2005.
I would explain the shirt.
This February, 10 singles make a connection.
Hey, Jessica.
He's asking. Oh my God!
My bad.
And face some rejection.
It's like she saw into the core of my soul.
That's amazing.
And hated it.
Mixology, coming this February to ABC.
Can I remember?
It's 911.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we watch pretty much all of your old favorite television series from yesteryear and then openly discuss them over a glass of wine. I'm one half, Patrick M. Dunn. You probably remember me from the previous galaxy of episodes. And I'm joined here on my right, as always, the author, Kat Halstead.
Hello, everybody. Not like they can actually answer me, but I always say that.
So, in the event you are new to the podcast, our concept is simple. We pretty much are open to discussing just about every television series ever, past, present, and future.
Future, yeah, let's just discuss some future TV shows that don't exist.
Well, I am really excited for the new Geena Davis-led joint coming this fall to Fox, The Exorcist.
Well, it's The Exorcist and Geena Davis. It's like two of your favorite things.
Yes, I'm kind of upset that they are coming out with an Exorcist series. But then I saw that Geena Davis was in the cast, so I was like, you know what, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, you probably will, because you love yourself some Geena Davis.
Yes. And she has been on numerous television series before, and they never make it past one season.
No, she's cursed.
Geena Davis could be the 2000s era Ted McGinley.
Now, he's been on, he was on Married with Children for years. He was on Hope and Faith for years.
Well, maybe Ted McGinley did something to reverse the curse. The legend was that anytime he joined a show, it went to shit, got canceled, etc., But Married with Children was such a lowbrow show anyway, so I guess you can't make a shitty show shittier, right?
Yeah.
Plus, Jefferson Darcy was the perfect comedic sidekick to Al Bundy, and he lovingly fit into the role for the last, 62 years of that show.
Whatever it was, however long Jefferson Darcy lasted.
Now, was Jefferson Darcy on the show longer than Steve Rhodes?
I think he was.
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint because it seemed like that show was on the air for, ever.
It was all for, our entire childhood, really. When we were allowed to actually watch TV, Married with Children, just came on.
And for, some reason, I was allowed to watch Married with Children all the time.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why my parents let us watch it, but we totally did.
Plus, it's been on syndication forever. And then it landed itself on FX and other random cable outlets. Now it's on Netflix or Hulu or both. And I watched some episodes recently and it's so punk rock. I can't believe what they got away with in the 80s and 90s. Sex jokes, fat jokes, woman bashing. It was fucking insane.
Oh, yes. There really was. If I watch an episode now, I'm like, oh my god, why did I watch this when I was a kid? What was wrong with me?
And your parents would not let you watch MTV, but Married with Children was an open door policy.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say I think I got away with Married with Children because I don't think my dad realized I was watching it.
Okay. When it originally came out, my parents would watch it, and they would watch it in the living room. I was really young, I think in 1987 or 88, whenever it originally started.
Yeah, we were 6.
It was always on at 9 or 9:30 on a Sunday night, and that was my bedtime. But I would hear my parents laugh, and I would just my curious mind, because I love television, I had to know what they were watching. So my brother and I...
Yes, of course.
My brother and I, we would sneak out of our rooms. We were on a second floor, so we can kind of go down the stairs, and there was a spot where the wall to the stairs stopped. And we would, like, peek our heads out, and we could see the TV.
Yeah.
Our parents their backs was facing us, so they didn't see us watching it. And we used to slyly watch Married with Children for the first or second year it was on. And then whenever something funny happened, we would tiptoe back into our rooms, laugh, and then come back down.
That is awesome.
And then we got caught, I think, because we referenced something that was on the show at dinner or something like that. And I think my mom picked up on it or my dad picked up on it. And then after that, it was just kind of like, all right, you can just watch the show. I think by the time The Simpsons actually came out, it was open door for us. Yeah,
I think The Simpsons kind of opened the Fox door for a lot of people.
The Simpsons is the gateway drug to scandalous television.
Now that's a show that's been on forever.
The Simpsons was the gateway, but it was also this unforeseen loophole.
Yeah.
Because it was animated, and because it was a cartoon, parents thought it was probably cool to let their youngins watch it unsupervised.
You mean like how they assumed that about South Park?
Yes, but parents may have been more cautious over the cartoons their kids watched by the time South Park rolled around. But when it came to The Simpsons, I was a super fan. I lived and breathed everything Simpsons. I had a t-shirt that said, "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" And I wore it to school in second grade.
Everybody had a Bart Simpson t-shirt. Everybody.
Yeah, true. Everyone in school was obsessed with The Simpsons, but I feel like I may have taken things to like a whole other level, though. Like, I begged my mother to let me spike my hair like Bart, which she eventually agreed to let me do, but it ended up looking more like Lisa Simpson's hair than Bart's. Plus, I remained a loyal viewer to The Simpsons for so many years. Maybe up until, like, 2006-ish?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of The Simpsons now.
So, shall we start to introduce tonight's episode?
Yes, let's do it.
So we're doing a show, a short-lived series. It was called Mixology. It aired on ABC.
Yes.
And you selected this show. You know more about it than I did. I kind of remember it. I remember seeing ads for it. Mm-hmm. But I never watched it until 2 days ago.
Until 2 days ago. Oh, you poor thing. FYI, the whole thing's up on iTunes.
Oh, yes. It previously was on Netflix. You could watch all 13 episodes on Netflix, but they just removed it. And
yeah.
I watched the episode once on Netflix, and I went back to watch it a second time, and it was already removed, so I had to find this horrible, horrible copy that was on YouTube.
And that's just not as much fun as watching the nice, crisp, clear HD version off of Netflix.
Yeah, and sometimes I like to watch it on closed caption so I can figure out character names and whatnot, but closed caption is never available on YouTube. And the version I watched on YouTube, they did this weird zoom edit effect.
Oh, I hate that.
So a lot of the scenes I was watching, they would have like a character, but you would see their body, but you wouldn't see their head. And at first I kind of thought, why is the director focusing on this actress's boobs? It started to be in my notes, like, they just seem to always focus on this one character's boobs and not her face. And then I realized, you know what? The camera is probably zoomed in. Well, the screen resolution is not formatted to fit my television screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you are a super Mixology fan, probably the only one. I
probably am.
I will allow you.
I don't even remember why I suggested this.
You did say that like about a year ago. You said that you wanted to do Mixology, and then when I brought up we should do a one-season wonder series.
Oh, this is why, yeah.
You just instantly brought up Mixology. And then when you said that it was leaving Netflix, you were like, we had to fast track this episode. Because I think it's originally planned for like 10 episodes from now, but we had to promote it.
Yeah, we just scooted this one on up.
But because you're the only super fan of the show, other than the cast, I think that you should give a brief summary of what this whole fiasco is all about.
Okay, so it basically is all one night out at the bar where 5 guys and 5 girls are trying to basically get laid. And they're all at different points in their lives, but they're all about the same age. So they're all like about our age, really. Maybe a little younger.
So it all takes place over the course of one night. So it's really like a boozier and hornier version of Kiefer Sutherland's 24.
Boozy 24. Or it's just like one of those rom-coms you're going to see at the movie theater, like He's Just Not That Into You, or Valentine's Day, or New Year's Eve kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a sentimental Gary Marshall rip holiday movie. What's the new one? Mother's Day?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
We've already suffered through New Year's Eve for the podcast, so I'm sure Mother's Day will make our podcast rotation eventually.
Maybe.
So this series was created by two guys named John Lucas and Scott Moore, who also wrote The Hangover.
Yes, so, lots of drunken shenanigans.
Which was the highest grossing R-rated comedy of all time, maybe?
Something like that. I recently just watched it.
And they also just came out with a new dirty comedy, Bad Moms, starring Mila Kunis, Christina Applegate, Kristen Bell, and Jada Pinkett Smith.
That is an interesting group of women to put in a movie together.
Yes, and then there's a guest appearance by Kesha.
That is so random.
Well, I'm just reporting the informational tidbits. I did not take part in the casting of the film.
Yeah.
Alright, so Mixology was a mid-season replacement, correct?
Yeah, it was one of those mid-season shows. It started to air on February 26th of 2014. So it's not even that old.
It's, as of this recording, it's about 2 years old.
Yeah.
But it will now forever be immortalized in podcast form.
Somebody will be like, oh my god, somebody actually watched this.
If you want to further discuss Mixology with Kat, feel free to tweet us at @verypodcast, and y'all can become best friends for life.
Yes, we can totes become new BFFs.
Yes. So mid-season shows are pretty much hit or miss.
Yeah, they can be hit or miss, and Mixology got awful reviews.
Yes.
Just awful. Like, this show got torn apart by the critics.
It was eviscerated by critics, and I hate to say it, but I can see why.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, okay, you have to, like, when you watch the whole series, it's really cute. But I understand why it got the bad reviews.
Does it get better?
Well, it's just one of those shows that you sit down with, like, your bowl of popcorn and you're entertained. You're not sitting here trying to figure out some mystery. You're not sitting here, like, watching some woman have sex with the president kind of thing. It's just, like, something you watch. It's funny. You're not going to like every character, but it's still cute.
As far as the misogynistic dialogue that was in the pilot goes, does that continue throughout the series, or does that go away?
There's all kinds of, like, cringy stuff throughout. Like, the whole thing with Maya not liking Hawaiians.
Alright, so I think we're going to have to do a character breakdown for the audience and myself, because I had a hard time keeping track of who was who.
Okay.
Alright, so because the show moved so quickly, I have such a broad generalization of who these people are. So, according to my notes, let's start with the guy who I wrote down as not being Damon Wayans Jr.
That would be Cal, played by Craig Frank, I believe his name.
Okay, so next in my notes is the Zach Galifianakis guy.
That would be Bruce, our narrator.
Oh, he's the narrator? Okay, I didn't even pick up on that. Okay. Then I have the generalized, non-threatening white guy.
And that would be Tom.
Tom. Is Tom... I kind of assumed him to be the main character of this mess.
I would say that the developing relationship between Tom and Maya throughout the night is kind of your main one. Is your main focus. Because they're the focus of this episode. It's the Tom and Maya episode.
Okay, so every episode focuses on a different group of characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get one about Liv and Ron, or you'll get one about Jessica and Bruce. You'll get one about Casey and Cal, or Casey and Dominic.
I love how those names mean absolutely nothing to me, and they probably mean nothing to our listeners.
But you'll get, like, each episode focuses on a different couple or different trio of people meeting and interconnecting through the night.
Okay. And so how long are they at the bar for?
They're, like, they get to let's say they're at the bar from, like, 7-ish is kind of the impression I get until, like, closing.
So they're there for probably about 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, they're there all night. They're there getting drunk. And they're all out on the prowl for different reasons.
That is a long-ass time to be at the bar.
Yeah.
It has a very... Well, this whole show, I think, is trying to ride off the coattails of How I Met Your Mother. Mm-hmm. One of those shows where you just kind of have a whole crew that hangs out at a bar, and they frame whatever their story they're talking about. It's always them at the bar, and then they go to cutscenes of their day or night or whatever they're talking about.
Yeah, because our narrator, Bruce, will take you through the life of, like, whoever he's introducing you to for that episode. So you get this whole thing about Tom's life, like, when he was born, where he lived, like, when his dad left at 6 and he didn't realize his dad had left until he was 9, blah, 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 kind of thing. You get, like, this little mini life story for each of the 10 main characters.
So Bruce is very godlike and all-knowing, then.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out is that I believe this show replaced Happy Endings, which I think is a far more superior show to this.
This is what replaced Happy Endings?
Yes, I think Happy Endings, I don't think it was officially canceled, but I think it took a winter break, maybe.
And this is what was in its place?
And they put this series in its place. And I know you hate Happy Endings.
I do.
I love Happy Endings. You love Mixology, and I hate Mixology. So it's the perfect blend right here.
Look, I think Happy Endings had a great concept, but there's just several cast members I did not like.
I believe it is Casey Wilson. Yes, I'm not really too big on Casey Wilson either, but I did like her in Happy Endings for some reason.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the horrendous dialogue that takes place in the opening scene of the series?
Yes, you want it.
All right, so who is the Zach Galifianakis-like guy?
That would be Bruce.
All right, so Bruce and Damon Wayans Jr. guy. Cal. So Bruce and Cal are coaching Tom, who is the general non-threatening white guy.
Yes.
And I guess he has just been freshly de-engaged to his girlfriend Laura.
Yeah, like his girlfriend just broke up with him after like 10 years. So I feel Tom's pain. Like his girlfriend's just like, okay, I'm done. Like this doesn't work anymore, so bye.
This is exactly how she breaks up with him. There is no warning, no fights leading up to it. He doesn't catch her in the throes of passion with another man or woman. She just busts into the living room and says she's done, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah, that's like how it goes. She's like, yeah, she's like, she just is so just like whatever about. She's like, yeah, okay, bye.
They're in their apartment. He is replacing the vacuum bag.
Yeah, like he's been doing the chores around the house, and she comes in with like an iced coffee, and she's just like, yeah, bye.
I think before she leaves, she tells him that you disgust me. I woke up this morning and your face repulses me.
Yes.
She's so charming. Like, and Tom is thinking, well, we had Korean food last night. Maybe you ate something that didn't agree with you. And she stares at him for maybe like a half a second and just says no.
She just leaves.
She bails.
She's awful. She's awful. Tom will be so much better off without her.
Does the ex-girlfriend ever come back into the picture?
Yeah, she shows up at the bar.
Oh man, this can't go over well.
Yeah. And then she like decides she wants him back, and then Maya's like, all over him later. It's crazy.
Well, I'm sure by the time the crazy ex-GF shows up, Tom and Maya are destined to be with each other because, you know, they have, known each other for like a few hours by this point.
Of course, obviously.
The law of TV land dictates that characters who meet in the first act are destined to be with each other forever.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, so Bruce and Cal convinced Tom to go over to Maya and get her phone number. And they're like, he's not going to do it. He's not going to be able to do it.
Before we get there, this is what Bruce says to Tom to convince her to approach Maya for casual sex. You've been out of the game for a decade. Girls have changed. They will sleep with anything. I get laid all the time, and I am disgusting.
Well, Bruce is disgusting, and he does get laid all the time.
And I don't know why. But Bruce does further add to Tom that sex in the city has changed the game.
Oh, God.
And then they continue this demoralization by saying, let's find you a nice, sweet, drunk girl. You know, the kind that breaks a heel. That's the kind of girl you need.
Oh, they're awful. Especially Bruce.
It was either Bruce or Cal says this line. They refer to the waitress, who is another character. They say, the waitress is hot. I kind of want to eat off of her butt.
I'm pretty sure Bruce said that.
And then this other generalized line that girls who wear flats are never trying to get laid. The higher the heels, the looser she feels.
Well, that might be true for some girls. I'm going to get emails about that.
Probably the worst line in this whole episode. This one definitely comes from the not Damon Wayans Jr. guy. He says to Tom, he's trying to amp him up, you are a Viking. You rape and you pillage what is yours.
But he clarifies not to actually rape.
They could have probably cut that line out of the series, though.
They probably could have, yeah.
I kind of feel like there was probably a network note to add in that further clarification of asking Tom to not rape, when it would have just been simpler to just remove the line. It was just like an unfunny appendage to an already cringeworthy and offensive dialogue.
Those lines from Mixology shocked you. Wow. Okay, so Tom goes up to Maya at the bar, and he starts trying to talk to her, and she's just like, who is this guy? This is like not the kind of guy Maya would ever date. She dates pro athletes. Her ex-boyfriend is like Keyshawn Johnson, who's like famous football player. He was on Dancing with the Stars. And she has this whole thing that she tells her friend Liv earlier, like in the day, that pro athletes are the only real men left. So then she's at the bar waiting for Liv, and this like total just doofus kind of non-threatening white guy comes up to hit on her, and he starts crying about his breakup with his fiance of 10 years. And she actually kind of finds it sort of maybe a little cute, and she gives him her number.
Maya basically just comes right out and tells Tom, the reason why your fiance left you is because you're a sniveling little bitch. And Tom realizes this, and when he hears it from a potential mate's mouth, rather than his a-hole friends, he starts to listen to what Maya has to say, and the tables turn, and now Maya starts giving Tom far more effective coaching advice when it comes to approaching women.
Oh yes, her advice is far better. Far better.
And the most sagest of advice Maya is willing to share with Tom is the following quote, I am a man, respect my balls. Which I'm not sure how far Tom would go if he actually used that line.
She's a total ball buster, though.
And Tom turns that attitude back around to Maya, and it lands him her phone number. But before she gives the phone number, she does say that listening to you makes me want to kill myself.
Yes, because that's totally what you want to hear from a girl when you're picking her up at the bar.
And then she says she will give him her number only if he has a pen, which is weird because it's 2014. You would think they would have had cell phones, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't allow cell phones at this bar, or they left them at home. I don't really know.
Well, no, you definitely see cell phones because what's her face? Jessica, the curly-haired blonde in the red dress. She's got her cell phone and she's got Ron's dick pics on it.
So Jess is the girl in my notes who I wrote as The girl in the red dress who feels she is too old for the bar, but in actuality is probably like 29.
Yeah, she's not that old, but she's got 2 kids already.
And then Jess blesses us with the classic line that dick pics are good manners. It's like the modern day shaking of hands.
I'm sorry, but I don't think dick pics are good manners. Maybe I've been out of the dating scene for too long, but no.
I'd like to know the world's opinions on dick pics. So tweet us your thoughts on dick pics to @verypodcast. Don't send actual dick pics, just your thoughts, please. Jess was definitely a poor man's Carrie Bradshaw.
She's very fashion forward.
She had the same Carrie Bradshaw signature curls. She was a fashionista.
Yeah.
And the reason why she was at the bar that night was to meet up with the British guy, the owner of the dick pic.
Yeah, she's gonna meet up with the British guy. They, met on, Tinder or something.
So, the British guy is Ron, and he's allegedly well-endowed.
Apparently, yes.
So Ron shows up, he walks into the bar room like he's James Bond entering a cocktail party.
Mm-hmm.
He's very suave, he acts like he owns the place. As soon as he enters, the cocktail waitress hands him a martini. He then very casually approaches Jess, like it's in slow motion. And then as soon as he's near her, he instantly vomits into her purse.
Because he's already wasted.
He's been day drinking all day long.
Well, you would too if you lost all your money like that.
Yes, I guess he started some kind of internet startup company, and the company folded that afternoon, and he lost like $18 million.
Yeah. Hey, if some guy puked in my purse, I would probably be done for the night. I would probably just leave and be like, nope, I'm out.
Yes, but we're only the first 20 minutes into a new series, so she's sticking around for at least the next 6 hours.
Yeah, she's sticking around. She really just needs to get laid, apparently.
So Jess is a recent divorcee.
Yeah, she's divorced, or I don't know if she was ever actually married to the baby daddies. I don't know if they're the same baby daddies.
Well, whatever the case may be, she's been locked away for some time.
Yeah.
Unattainable, and she just wants to get her feet wet again. And just like the Black Eyed Peas once said, tonight is going to be a good night.
Tonight was going to be the night. She thought she was going to get some British peen, and instead she got vomited in her purse.
So, is it Jess's sister that decides to go after the British guy after Jess declines him? I'm confused on what happened there.
No, we never see the sister again after this episode.
Oh, the
sister goes home.
There's a tag at the end of this episode, after the credits, that insinuates that they show her flirting with the British guy outside, or
That's not the sister, that's Liv. That's Maya's friend and co-worker from the law firm who's engaged.
Oh, you know what? They looked very similar.
They did, yeah.
Okay, so the sister's never seen again. The one that goes up to the British guy is Maya's friend that shows up after Maya gives Tom her number?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering why Jess's sister, after seeing him puke into her sister's purse, why she would pursue that further, but okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah, it's a totally different girl who she's engaged to this she's basically engaged to an even more boring Tom. And she realizes she wants something a little more when she meets Ron.
That makes a whole lot more sense, because I was thinking maybe Jess's sister has a weird fetish, a vomit fetish, and that's the kind of night she was looking for, some drunk man just to puke all over her.
Yeah, no. No.
Different strokes for different folks, right?
I mean, somebody's into that somewhere.
I'm a regular listener of Howard Stern Show, and there is a frequent guest named Jeff the Vomit Guy, and he enjoys being vomited on by both men and women.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
All right, so 2 things I have in my notes about Maya's friend and the British guy's interaction.
Okay.
What's the name of Maya's friend?
Liv.
Okay. Liv is on the phone with her husband or fiance.
Yeah.
And she tells him to not watch Devious Maids without me.
Yes.
And then she tells the British guy that she loves British people and scones. And I guess he was so impressed by her cutesy and awkward flirtation that he decides he's gonna go in for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Devious Maids. Let's get back to Devious Maids.
Okay.
Devious Maids is a Lifetime series, is that correct?
Yes, it is a Lifetime series created by Mark Cherry, starring Susan Lucci.
Yes. Is someone from Desperate Housewives is in the show? Is it Eva Longoria, or am I thinking of a whole other series?
You're thinking of another series. She was in telenovela.
Oh, okay. Who else is on Devious Maids? There is another actress I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the lady from Scrubs.
The Spanish nurse? Carla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know why I associated Carla from Scrubs and Eva Longoria, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I don't think anybody from Desperate Housewives was on unless they had a small role on Desperate Housewives. I haven't watched Devious Maids since like the first 2 episodes, so.
For some reason, I thought it was an Eva Longoria joint, but I guess it's a Susan Lucci joint.
No, she did that sitcom telenovela this last year on NBC, which was hilarious.
Is telenovela coming back? Because I kind of wanted to dip into that.
Nope.
I only had enough room on my television viewing schedule to fit in one NBC sitcom this year, and I chose the one with America Ferrara for some reason.
What was that one called?
I almost said Super Size Me, but it's not. It takes place at a fake Walmart, and she's a cashier or supervisor or some sort. And I thought the first episode was kind of cute, but then it just went downhill from there.
But of course.
Yes, and that's probably not coming back as well.
I honestly have no idea. I am so lost. I have not been keeping up with like TV renewals or anything.
Yes, we're mostly trapped in this world of television reruns. Most of the television viewing I do these days is podcast related.
Honestly, the last few weeks, it's mostly been me just being like, oh my god, I get this channel now, because we just got Comcast cable, so I'm like, ooh, look at this old show I used to love. Ooh, I can watch reruns of this now.
That was me until a few months ago, and when I downsized my cable package. So now it's just me looking for other resources and ways to find these series. So I'm doing a lot of illegal viewing of television series through YouTube and other sources that I will not reference.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, my dear.
All right, so is there any other thoughts on Mixology?
Well, I think it's a really easy show to binge watch. If you get your hands on all 13 episodes, you can fly through them so quickly you don't even realize you're like done with the series. So it's like a fun little binge watch. If you're just like looking for something silly and cheesy to watch, this is one of those perfect shows.
A few things that I wanted to reference. There's some other great, eye-rolling lines. I believe Cal says to Tom that about his breakup with Laura that you'll meet someone hotter with a bigger ass.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Tom and Cal are wondering why Bruce has a lot of Kleenex in his apartment.
Like, hello guys, I think you can put that together.
And he says, why do you think I have so much Kleenex? I pop off everywhere. Which is a line that I did not think that they could say on network television. But all in all, I would probably have to say this was one of the most least interesting episodes we've done for our podcast so far. But if you love our podcast, I suggest that you check out our website, a very special podcast.tumblr.com. You can find our whole slew of episodes on there. And where else can you find us on the internet?
You can find us on Twitter at verypodcast.
Check us out on social media. You can listen to all of our previous episodes, hear about our future episodes, and I don't know, maybe see some fun retweets and stuff like that. So I guess, as always,
Bye!
Until next time.